Hello. Hello, hello, hello. All right, we're going live right now. So I said that I would go live to thank everybody or share a memory of everybody that donated to our fundraiser for the comedy club as we try to get opened in the new spot. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to go through people in order on the fundraiser page as I read them off. And I'm just going to share a memory of when we met, whether it's the first time that we met or, um, you know, just a good time that we had together at some point or what. So here we go. All right. The first one coming up right now that I see, although I don't know how this is first because I believe Veronica Forker was the very first. Oh, hi, Corey Day Comedy and Megan Little Cardy and, and Dustin Comedian. Welcome to the feed. Sharing memories of people that have contributed to. Oh, hey, Andy Forster sent a request to be in your live video. Okay, let's do it. It's where are you? Oh, maybe I made a mistake. Is okay. I tried to add Andy Forrester to my video, and I don't know what happened. Oh, here he is.
I hope I didn't screw that up. I just thought that meant I was watching. I'm sorry. You can pretend I never did that.
Look, Andy Forrester has joined us, everybody.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I thought you wanted to come on and say something, but
well, I do. I love your club, and I hope that the new one is just as successful. So I apologize. Pretend I was never here. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. If anybody else wants to join and say hi, I don't know what you press the button, and I'll include you if you're not a horrible person.
Well, I'll figure out how to hang up now. Sorry.
All right, thanks, Andy. It's good to see you.
Yep. You too.
All right. Well, I guess the first person I'll talk about is Andy, who I met in North Carolina at the Good Nights Comedy Club back when I did the World Series of Comedy back then. And I remember he was very nice, and we're very lucky to have him come to the club now and perform. He's been through a number of times. And I found my set from the World Series of Comedy recently from way back then. And I can hear Andy's laugh on it. He has such a distinct laugh that when I listen back to it now, I can even hear it now. So thanks, Andy. Okay, so like I was saying, I believe Veronica Forker was actually the first person that had contributed to the campaign, to the fundraiser campaign. And Veronica was a regular at our Pick a Side Stupid shows, and she started with us even when we were, well, she would come to the stadium shows, I remember, in Quincy, and then even when we were doing shows in a apartment after our show got shut down at the stadium, or Iron Furnace, if you knew it that way. It got shut down at a certain point as the restaurant changed management. And then we started doing shows, our Pick a Side Stupid debate show, in an apartment building. It was Jacob Noble, and I think, did JJ live with him? Is a couple of guys that lived together, and they would have us do our show in their apartment. And Veronica used to come to the shows back then too, and participate and debate. And we just think the world of her. So thank you, Veronica. Dan Bendeck contributed, and I know Dan. I probably first met him at the comedy class that we were running. So thanks, Dan. And he's great. Appreciate it, man. Stephanie Rutledge. We've met at the club. I'm sure I was probably behind the bar messing everything up, and or maybe on stage messing everything up, or maybe things were going great. I don't know. Let's just assume things were going great. But thank you, Stephanie. We appreciate it. Rain McKee contributed. Thank you so much, Rain. I remember the first time that I met Rain. She was on the open mic, and she was great. And I was like, she's gonna be a star. And I haven't seen her on stage recently. I try to talk her into going back on all of the time when I see her, but I know she's focusing on other things, and just the idea that you can do things other than comedy is pretty healthy, probably. So, anyways, thanks, Rain. This one is an anonymous contribution. Somebody donated $225 and didn't even leave their name. So thank you, mystery stranger, whoever you are. Thank you for helping us raise money to open the new space. I was down at the club today, just planning out like bathrooms. That's a lot of fun, I know, but we need at least one ADA compliant unisex bathroom at least to get open. So we're down there today trying to get that figured out. James B and Guido A, thank you so much, A and B. I met Guido at the comedy club as well, doing open mic comedy there. Went on stage, was very funny, and then Guido went on as well. Guido is very funny on stage, and I believe also works around downtown area. I think was doing stuff at O'Mannon's and stuff too. But super nice, very funny person. Barry Monroe. Oh, Barry. We go way back to, I think I was introduced to you through your brother, James Monroe, way back in the 1800s. And he was president at the time or something. I don't know, but I'm glad that you came through for us and contributed to the fundraiser. We appreciate it very much. Thank you. This one's another anonymous one, and it's for a lot of $1,500. Somebody claimed a private show, Sean and Friends. So me and my friends, and you get that for $1,500. Pretty good deal. Thank you, anonymous. Once I dig through the back end of this fundraiser website and figure out who you are, kind stranger, I will send you an email so that we can set up your private show. Another anonymous contribution. I don't know where we met, so thanks, whoever you are. I meet strangers constantly. The other day, I was at Blackbird Bakery, and I was just getting a donut. I was getting 2 donuts. I was getting 3 donuts at Blackbird Bakery, and the girl that was working at the window was like, "Are you a comedian?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "I saw you. You were on my grandfather's birthday show. You had a birthday show that you ran for my grandfather." And I was like, "Oh, great." And thinking back on it, I was like, "You probably hate me." That show went not great for me. So that's unfortunate. But if you are the anonymous person that saw me on that show and then you threw some money at this fundraiser, thank you. It kind of makes up a little bit for how rough of a set that was, I think. And then we have one here from, oh, hey, Adam, how are you? And Sam. Hey, Sam. I'm going to hit the little wave button so that I'm saying hi to Sam. There we go. Michael Balaban. Michael's a member at the club, comes to a ton of shows. I know he used to drink the old fashions. I don't know if he's still doing that, but thank you, Michael. Thomas G. This does not say the full last name, but if I guess that it's Thomas Gart, maybe. Then we first met at the club as well, and I was always very impressed with your beard. So thank you for that. Let's see, Sean Rosa. Where did me and Sean Rosa meet? We probably met at the New World Tavern in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Oh, hey, it is Thomas. Hey, Big Thorbowski. Thanks. Big Thorbowski. I watched Marvel Endgame the other day, and I remember like when that came out, I was like, Thor got fat, and now I'm like, I would kill to be in that kind of shape, man. Ryan Shea and Joe are here. Right on. Welcome. I was just talking about Sean Rosa. We all love Sean Rosa, right? He contributed to the fundraiser, and I was just thanking him for that. And I was saying, I think we met at the New World Tavern at a show in Plymouth that I believe Tom Crowley was booking. And then, of course, me and Sean did a million shows together around Boston. A lot of Pick a Side Stupid, a lot of Stadium and Iron Furnace. I mean, he might be the person that I've done the most shows with. Amanda Cruel contributed. Thank you so much, Amanda. One of the first comics that I met when I moved to East Tennessee. I think I met her at Gypsy Circus or Gypsy Cider. They were doing a comedy show there. We may have even met before that at a different brewery, but I know for sure that I talked to her at a show at Gypsy Cider before we ever had the club, and it's been great to know you. Anonymous contributed, so thanks, whoever that is. Could be anybody. Let me say that I think we probably met. If you're anonymous, we probably met at the Home Depot, because this happened last week. Somebody walked up to me at the Home Depot and they just stood next to me and stared at me for a while. And I was like, hi, because, if somebody stands next to you long enough, you acknowledge them, right? So I said, hi. And then he said, I know you from somewhere. And then I just waited for him to tell me where that was, because I didn't know him from anywhere. So then he couldn't think of what it was. And then he just walked away quietly. And you might be thinking, why didn't you tell him I do comedy? And the reason is that there's no good thing that happens after that. Either he's going to be like, oh, yeah, weren't memorable enough for me to know that that's even what I knew you from. Or he's going to be like, oh, yeah. Or he's going to be like, no, that's not it. And then you just sound like you're trying to tell people things that they don't even want to know. So let's guess that Anonymous is the guy that I ran into at Home Depot that knew who I was for some reason, but didn't know why. And then we get Donald and Becky Purdy. Donald took our comedy class, and so Joe asked how many anonymous people bought a name on the wall. And that's a great question that I will answer as soon as I let my dog in, because she's barking at the door. So let's go let her in. And then I guess the answer to that is, I don't know. I have to go back and count up how many people signed up as anonymous that are going to have their names on the wall. And I don't know that we're going to write anonymous. Maybe we'll write like a little, maybe we'll put a little microphone up there for them, or some kind of symbol to commemorate the anonymous people that donated. But I'll have to look through it and we'll figure out how many there are. Assuming Joe, I'm reading the comments here on the live stream, and it says, assuming Joe was the quote Adolf Hitler I saw contributed. That I believe that's true. Joe sent me a message saying that he signed up and contributed it as Adolf Hitler so that he could get Adolf's name on the wall, which we are obviously not going to do. In case anybody was curious, if you use a fake name, if we'll just put it on the wall no matter what. We have our limits for what we'll put on the wall, even if you donated. I don't know what amount of money you would have to donate for us to write a name on the wall that we thought might be monstrous or a bad look, but I know it's more than whatever it was, because I looked at it and I said, that name is not going on the wall. Hey, Joe Buckley. Joe Buckley's here too. And Harrison, Drew Harrison is here. Good to see you again, man. All right, who else? Oh, Donald took the comedy class. That's how I know him, and now he's a member at the club as well. Good friend of the club. So thank you, Donald and Becky. Jason Clark contributed to the club and said that he's impressed with what we've done. So thank you, Jason. I think we met when you were just regaining your memory and realizing that you were secretly a spy in a former life. Oh, Mike O'Brien wants to join the live video. Do I dare do this? Do I dare do this? What do you guys think? Should I let Mike O'Brien join the live video? He might be a problem if I let him on. Oh, all right, let's do it. I haven't talked to Mike in a while. Let's let him on. Let's see what he has to say. Go live with Mike. Okay, here we go. Mike O'Brien will be joining us in just a second. Oh, Joe said no. Oh, Ryan says make him donate $300. Mike, I think you're coming on, but you got to donate $300 to join the live feed. Or you might have been given a request already. I'm not sure. Well, he's not on yet. So hopefully he sends that in. Okay, Ryan Shea contributed. Thanks, Ryan. We first met. This is actually a fun story. The first time that I met Ryan, we had like mutual friends, and one of Ryan's friends was like, my friend just got into comedy. You know, you guys should hang out or whatever. And me and Ryan had been talking online about like just like meeting at the comedy studio. And then I hadn't ever met him in person though. I'd only seen this like little thumbnail picture of Ryan. So then I was at the comedy studio one night and I knew Ryan was going to be there. And I saw a dude that I thought looked like Ryan. And I went over and I was like, hey, are you Ryan? And he was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was really awkward. And I was like, I don't know. Sorry. I thought you were this guy, Ryan. I've never like seen him in person. I've only like talked to him online. And then that guy was like, I could be Ryan. And I was like, well, that's okay. Also, I'm just looking for my new friend. I think I made that sound different than it was. I can't invite you again, Mike. You were the one that put in the request to go live with me. And now I don't even know how to invite people. Pruitt's in the group now. Hi, Pruitt. So anyways, that was my memory of the first time I almost met Ryan Shea. And then I did meet him later that night, and we became good friends, obviously. Ryan's been down here a few times. He sent, along with his contribution, he wrote a note that said, this is a bribe so I don't get booked on a NASCAR or car show weekend, which is true. Ryan's been to the club, I think headlined the club twice. And one time was a NASCAR weekend. And the other time was when there was a car show and State Street was completely closed down because there were all like classic cars lining the entire road. Okay, let's see. Mike says, I don't know how it works. I'm sorry to my fans. So Mike doesn't have any fans. So I think it works out just fine. Let's see who else contributed. Peyton Williams, thank you so much. I met Peyton before he took the class. I think he was already doing the open mics before he took the class, right? And then he started taking the class, probably one of our youngest people that ever took the stand-up 101 class. I think he was 17 when he started. Although we did have one person that took the class at 15, I think. I haven't seen him in a little while though. Peyton's stuck around. It's probably a little easier when you can drive, I suppose. I don't think 15-year-olds can even drive. Katie contributed. I think it's just the first name here, but this is probably Katie Steigers. Because who else? Well, no, Katie. Oh, Katie Doss also writes it with a Katy. Listen, whichever one you are, I think you're wonderful. And I'm sure both of them have contributed. So I'm just going to knock out two Katies with one stone right now. You're both wonderful. I met you both at the same time. I'm certain of it. No, wait, that's not true. Katie Steigers I met because she was taking the class, the stand-up 101 class. And Katie Doss I met because you did not donate as Katie, Joe. I know that. Katie Doss I met because she's my wife's best friend. And maybe my wife has another best friend that's going to argue that point, but I don't care. I said what I said, and nobody can prove me wrong. So anyways, I'm pretty sure they used to like ride horses together back in the day and stuff. Jeremy Alder contributed to the club. And Jeremy was just here headlining. And I think the first time I met him, he came through. He was featuring for Katie Hughes. I don't know if they knew each other. I think Jeremy had sent me an email about featuring at the club. And I thought he was great. And so I brought him in to feature. and he was great that weekend. And then we've been just in touch since, doing shows sporadically together. And he came and did the Blue Ridge Comedy Festival last year and had one of the, what I thought was one of the most fun moments of the festival, where he basically went on stage and claimed that I ran an entire festival just to promote my album, which is hilarious and would be so much work. It would be so much easier just to simply try to do podcasts than to arrange an entire festival. But it was hilarious the way that he said it. I just think Jeremy's a great dude. And also, by the way, I'll be at his show this Sunday in Hillsborough, North Carolina. So at Yonder. So, all right. That's Jeremy. Mark Queensberry. Says congrats on the new digs. Can't wait to see it. I know Mark's been at the club a number of times. I'm pretty sure that I tried to pour him a hazy little thing and it overflowed, and I probably spilled it and made everything weird for a minute. I shouldn't be behind the bar is the point. Every time that I end up behind the bar, something goes wrong. So I try to leave that to our wonderful bartenders, Meredith and Derek, and sometimes Tammy, and sometimes Megan, and Cassidy. Cassidy was the OG bartender, but off to med school now. Who needs med school when you could work as a bartender for the rest of your life? I don't understand what the issue is. Hey, we have 10 people watching this live stream, so thank you all. It's got to be Joe and Ryan, Thomas, and thank you all. I'm going to keep reading off names here. Andy Sanford contributed to the new club. How wonderful. He's already contributed so much by coming and playing the club, and just a great dude. Nova Mangini, I know from Boston. We did a bunch of shows back there, and she used to do Pick a Side and everything, and just such a nice person. And thank you for contributing. Maggie Hess also contributed, and I know Maggie from Blue Ridge Comedy Club. She would come to the open mic, sometimes go on stage, but I think sometimes just watch shows at the club, and sometimes we would just run into each other at the bagel shop in town. So thank you so much, Maggie. Katie Baker. Katie, of course, we met doing comedy. Of course, that's my story with almost everybody. Katie was terrific at the debate show. Such a unique and funny person, and just very happy to do shows with her whenever I could. And, thank you for contributing, Katie. This one says, Sir Richard Canavan and Lady Jennifer of Menyo. So those of you that know Rick Canavan know that he could not simply write his name. He had to write Sir Richard Canavan, Sir Richard of Caravan. Rock Caravan over here has many different names. We've called them a lot of things. So I'll tell you one quick story of Canavan that I really enjoy, which I have a ton of stories with Rick. We've done so many shows together, but one of my favorite things is Rick is one of the few people that me and Rick would sometimes trade jokes before shows. Pruitt says hero of mine. Yeah, he's great, right? So sometimes me and Canavan would trade jokes before shows, and I'd do his jokes and he'd do my jokes and whatever. And sometimes I would even introduce myself as hey, I'm Rick. So we were doing a show one night where we decided to do each other's acts, and our friend Will Smalley had brought his boyfriend out, who he's married to now. And he was meeting us for the first time. So I went up and I was like, hey, I'm Rick. I've got the skin disease. You'll all have it by the end of the night. I did Rick's whole act, or, the 10 minutes, my whole act was Rick's jokes. And then Rick went up and did all of my jokes for his 10 minutes or whatever. And then we came off stage and our friend Will was like, let me introduce you to my boyfriend. And then I was like, hi, I'm Sean. And Rick was like, hi, I'm Rick. And then that guy was like, what are they talking about? They are not. That's not Sean. That's Rick. And that's not Rick. That's Sean. They just told me from the stage who they are. And now they're telling me the opposite. Don't get the cat call joke. Bad trait. I don't know what the cat call joke is. Is that one of mine? I don't think it is. But anyways, Brendan, hello, welcome. But all of Rick's jokes are a good trade. If I can tell any of Rick's jokes, I'm always happy. And he contributed to the fundraiser for the new space. So thank you so much, Rick. You're the man. Tara, I think this is Tara White. It doesn't have the last name, but Tara worked for us for like a week or something until we realized we couldn't give her the number of hours that she needed to, to get by really, because we were just so small. And so she ended up getting a job that, full-time job. We just weren't a full-time job. We were a part-time job. But Tara was so wonderful and has also done a ton of shows at the club. She's been on stage a bunch there. She's played her guitar up there on stage, So Tara is just a great person. Thank you so much for contributing. Ben Gould. Well, me and Ben did a lot of shows in Boston together. And I know he has a child that's probably around the same age as mine. And I hope that your family is doing well and that everything is great. My memory of Ben is that we did a show at Dick Doherty's Comedy Stop, Dick Doherty's Comedy Den together when it was in the basement of Howl at the Moon. And the show went great. Audience loved it. And then at the end of the show, it was like a Thursday night show. At the end of the show, Kathy Doherty said something along the lines of like, "Thank you all for coming out." To the audience, she's going, "Thank you all for coming out. You should come back on a weekend when the real comedians are here." And, I think that myself and Ben and probably all of the other people that were on that show would have just enjoyed it more if she said, "Please come back on the weekend," instead of implying that the people on this show were not real comedians. So that's my memory with Ben. Will Durgan. Thank you so much for contributing, Will. My memory that I'm going to share of you right now is when we were at that ski house up in, I believe it's Vermont, and we were all playing this game called Celebrity, where you drop a celebrity's name in, and then somebody has to like describe them, and everybody has to guess the name. And you're at the time, I think you had a girlfriend, maybe it was somebody else's girlfriend, I don't know, but the name in the bucket was Lorena Bobbitt, and they had never heard of that person. They had never heard of Lorena Bobbitt. No, didn't know who that person was. And then also everybody got mad at me because I put the name Doyle Brunson in there, which I thought was like a fairly famous person, but I guess not. Anyways, thanks, Will. You rule. Hey, Kenneth. Ken the stepdad. Ken the stepdad has joined. How's it going, man? You getting out on stage or what? I know Ken was gonna do some stand up. I don't know how active he's been since telling me that, but he's here. Jeff Greenspan contributed. I saw Jeff last week, and he has one of my favorite jokes that I've seen at the club. It's a bit shocking, and I know at times he's wondered if it was too dark for the club. And who's not a celebrity, Ryan? Tell me who you don't think is a celebrity. You don't think that Lorena Bobbitt is a celebrity? I mean, famous at the very least, right? Anyways, Jeff Greenspan's got this great joke. Told me maybe he thought it was too dirty for the club, but it's killed a bunch of times there. Yeah, thank you. Jeff was great last week. I know, right, Tom? Anyways, hey, Nathan, welcome to the feed. The next person up here is Mike Pincus, and thank you so much, Mike. I mean, me and Mike did a million shows together in Boston, mostly at the Comedy Studio, and then we go over to the Cellar and hang out, and live video ended. Oh. Oh, YouTube's still going. Nobody's watching it, so not a big deal, I guess. Oh, Pruitt, Kevin Overbeck, and Curtis Cooper all said hi over here. Hi, everybody. And if anybody else is in the live feed right now, let me know, and I will say hello as well. But I was working my way through all of the people that contributed, and my Instagram live shut off. I guess it does that at 30 minutes, but I think YouTube will probably let you talk as long as you want. I'm going to test that theory right now. And I'll start up my Instagram live again as well. If my phone is very hot, so maybe I should give it a minute. You know what? I'll come back in a few minutes. I think I need to go get some lunch. And then I'll come back and we'll get through the rest of the names, and we'll start the Instagram feed as well. So, all right. I'll see you.